Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how I did my birthday look this year. I really love just doing a whole blue kind of look just to match the top. So first things first, I like to start with eye primer, just so that's all set, literally, and done. So using the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, just going in with the finger and doing kind of quite a light layer across the whole lid. I also do like to put this in other places, not just the lid. I like to put it in the inner corner here, a touch on the outer corner, as well as I actually sometimes put it under the eye where my eye kind of creases to kind of help it to stop creasing sometimes. But again, just a very light layer. Next up for skin, you all know I love the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is the shade Vanilla. Just directly placing on any areas that I know I want to kind of get a bit more of an even skin tone on. I like to focus more on the middle of the face and not put too much on the outer parts of my face. I just always find that comes off a bit more natural looking. I also do get some redness right in the middles here, so I like to place it here. And then just blending with the fingers. And then once I have kind of a general layer all over the face, I kind of go back in and think, okay, I might want more coverage here, I might want more coverage on the under eyes, as well as some little red marks I have going on. So then I go back in once again. Blend, blend, blend. For areas like this, I just like to bounce my finger in the very middle of the concealed area and then tap around it to make sure I'm getting the most coverage in that area. Tap, tap, tap in the middle, in the same place, then tapping around the edges. What's funny about this look is that I'm actually remembering the mistakes I made the first time I did it, which I'm making again because I haven't done the eyeshadow first and the eyeshadow had a bit of fallout. So we're going to do the eyeshadow next to avoid that happening too much. So for eyeshadow, we've got the ISAMAYA Industrial palette. We will be using these 3 shades. So when I first did this look, I actually did like a green lid and then put blue over top of it because I realized actually no, I want blue. So we're going to do that again because I feel like it kind of created a nice shift to the blue. Just putting this all over the lid, kind of blending it a little bit at the end. And then this is when I realized, oh, I want blue actually. So taking the blue again with the finger, doing the same kind of thing first off. Putting it right over that green. If you see, it kind of blends quite nicely with the green and creates quite a nice effect. Just building up that blue a little bit more. Going right into the corner and then just nice and gently to the outer corner. And then again with the finger, blending upwards. We're going to use a brush in a second, but I like to make sure when I open my eye, you can still see a bit of that blue above my eyelid. My goal here is just to kind of make just a round kind of shape that just follows my eye shape naturally. I think doing the green accidentally at the start was a happy accident. Next, we're taking just a little brush like this and just going around the edges there just to soften it up, even it up a bit, all around the edge. So I have a little bit of fallout, so I'm just going to try to remove it and then go back over those areas with a bit more concealer just to fix that fallout that I forgot that was gonna happen again. Next, we're going for the highlight around the eye. For that, we're using this shade. It's been one of my favorite shades since I got this palette. It's so good. Putting it right in the inner corner, building up, and then dab it kind of up the side of that brow arch there, and also on the brow bone. Okay, going back to skin, we're going to start contouring. I have the ISAMAYA sculpting stick in shade Rosewood, and I just like to kind of get a little bit on the tip of my finger there. Just start to kind of get a little bit of a shadow going. Doing a little bit on the sides of the nose as well. Kind of the bottom edges of the nose, sides of the temples, then kind of around the forehead. I like to blend this area a bit above my brow as well. And also I'll just take the applicator and put a touch under my lip. Then for blush, a newfound favourite, the Fui Blurry Pudding Pot in shade Butter. Keeping it kind of more on the outer part of the cheek and upper part as well. Now this blush is quite natural looking, so I do kind of build it up quite a bit. Also just adding a tiny bit on the nose and the sides of the forehead. That part I just talked about, just above the outer half of the brow bone. Then for highlight, I'm taking these two really gorgeous shades. With the pinkish one, I'm kind of doing a bit more generously, and the more white one, I'm putting right in the middle of wherever I put that pink one. And I like to always do a point here and a point here, and then kind of blending into the middle of them. Again, being quite generous with this pink one, because I don't think it really wants to show up that well above this blush. Tip of the nose, I like to do a little bit up here as well. Cupid's bow, and then grabbing some of the white one and putting it right in the middle of those areas, and just kind of tapping around wherever I placed it. Back to eyes, we're going to start with curling the lashes. I like to go towards the outer edge, push into the lid a bit to lift the lashes, and then clamp down. And then I'll kind of go like this to kind of follow the lash. And then I actually like to focus on the inner lashes, so I'll do a kind of similar thing where I try to lift before I clamp down. Next, I have quite a dark brown liquid eyeliner. It has a really nice skinny tip to it. Just gonna do the tiniest little eyeliner you've ever seen. Just flicking out a tiny bit. Boom. Tiny eyeliner. Just going in the middle of that a little bit. The goal with this specific eyeliner is just to look like from afar, it's just kind of my eye shape that's been lifted. Next, mascara. Sky High from Maybelline. You already know this is such a good mascara. Going from root to tip, doing a little wiggle as I go. Really getting quite a good coat, especially on those outer lashes. I forgot to also say I love using this liner to kind of accentuate what beauty marks I do have, kind of making them a bit darker. For me, this shade works really well. Then I like to do the bottom lashes a little bit after the top ones have dried, so I'm not kind of rubbing mascara on the eyeshadow. Just being quite light with these bottom lashes. Next up is brows. I've been using the Maybelline Super Fluff Brow Gel in black brown. I kind of try to scrape it on the side a lot to get off a lot of the product, because I do find with this it can easily get a bit messy. I'm just going to apply quite lightly through most of the brow. Then to finish off, using the ISAMAYA Lips Balm in shade Follower. It's a really nice kind of mid-tone brown. I think it really actually works quite well with this blush. It has quite a subtle kind of pinky purple sparkle to it, but this brown is just so elegant looking. I really love it. Last but not least, using some skin lac on the chest. I feel like I'm forgetting something. So finished look, let me know what you think down below. Also, let me know what you think about my happy accident with my eyeshadow, because I think it actually worked out pretty nice. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.